How's it going, guys? This is the Anicast, and this is the first episode here. My name is Kuro, and with me in the channel, and with me today we have my friend Falcon. How's it going?
What's up?
And we have Rising from Rising William. How's it going, man?
Yo, what's up, bro?
So today is just kind of the introduction video, just talking about our origin story, how we started with kind of the idea of doing a podcast, but also how we got into anime. I've been into anime for a long time, so I kind of want to hear more about you guys and how you guys started, and then I'll talk about myself. So, Falcon, how did you get into anime?
Well, first off, I feel like you were probably born into anime. But for me, it's only been like the last maybe 2 years. I can remember like way back in college. Oh my god, it's been a decade since college. But anyway, you specifically tried to make me watch anime all of the time. Which
I tried real hard, guys. I was like, dude, you gotta watch this anime. I'm sure you're gonna like it.
Like a true weeb, try to get all his friends to watch it. I respect that.
Yeah, I tried hard
too, but at the time, it felt really pushy. So I kind of didn't do it for a while. Watched a few of the shows that you mentioned, but I only watched like 5 or 6 episodes of each. And then around 2 years ago, I met someone else who wanted to force me into anime as well. Except for they sat on the couch and would not let me get off the couch and was like, "You're watching this. You don't have a choice."
Did they put a gun to your head while they were doing this?
Or? That's what's going on. He was like, "No, I refused. I can't watch anime."
I wasn't struggling. There was no gun, but pretty close. Pretty close. And then I can't even remember what it was that we first watched. I have no idea.
Must not have been that good then. I don't.
We watched some really unfortunate choices at first, and then I think Black Clover was the first one that she actually got me into anime with, and then like 6 months later, I was like, "All right, I'm watching anime for every single show that I'm watching right now. I guess I can call myself an anime person now." I don't know if I've fully ascended to weeb levels or anything, but I think I have now.
You feel like now you evolve into a weeb, or you're still kind of in that phase of getting to anime?
No, I watch it all the time now. Like
Do you have a body pillow yet?
I do not have a body pillow yet.
Did the weeb card come in the mail? We need to know.
No, but I am actually literally right now. I'm in the process of getting into a good shape so that I can cosplay anime characters.
Hey, nice.
There you go. That's
I know me and Kuro cosplayed.
Yeah, I cosplayed a bit back in a couple of years ago. Now it's just I quit for a minute, but I'm like, yeah, I really want to get back into it. It's just really fun. I actually enjoy cosplaying a lot. But what about your Rising? How did you get into anime?
Well, I think I had a long period there where I didn't watch, but like as a kid though, I got into it because I had older cousins and like older siblings and stuff like that. So instead of like watching, normal kids shows, they would have anime and stuff on, which is probably not the best thing for a really small kid, because I was like 5 or 6, right? That's some of the first things I remember, and I think specifically like Dragon Ball on Toonami was some of the first stuff I ever saw, and like Pokemon. So as far as I can remember, I've always sort of seen that stuff growing up, and I think some of the first things I ever seen was like Spirited Away as well. I'd seen Spirited Away, I think, when it came out, and they put like subtitles on it and whatnot for the States. Yeah, I remember watching that, and then I took a long gap and not ever watching, and then I got back into it in like high school, like super hardcore.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people just kind of like watched it whenever they were young or whatever, and then like you don't hear about it for a minute, and then you kind of discover more on your own. I think I heard a lot of people in high school that they just kind of got back into it or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like
I definitely saw some of it on Toonami, but like I don't really remember anything. Like I saw a bunch of DBZ, but still have no idea what the storyline's like or anything.
It's pretty good. It's one of my favorites. I mean, a lot of people say it's like all punchy, fighty, but there's an actual story there if you get past all that stuff. I think
if you look for it, there's a story in between all that punching and fighting.
it ain't bad either. It ain't bad. It's pretty good. That's such a
That's
cool
the
anime
thing
though.
is anime like Dragon Ball. They really just started the genre of like the Shonen Jump and everything, because a lot of anime nowadays like have the same kind of formula to them. Like there's a bad guy, they get stronger. There's a new bad guy. They have to get stronger again, and there's a new stronger bad guy. Like there's that formula of like having to get stronger all the time and find the strongest guy or whatever. It's like part of the formula of Dragon Ball. That's what made it so popular.
I mean, Black Clover is 100% that. I mean, he says all the time, surpass your limits.
Yeah, like
Gotta get better.
that's really how it is. Like that's how a lot of the Shonen Jump like started. Like it's all about like, oh, you gotta get stronger, and like you fight the next bad guy, and it's like stronger or whatever. I mean, it's fine. It's part of the magic, I think, because I like situations where like they're weak and then they become really strong, and you see them how strong they become and everything. Like I like that. I'm like, yeah, look at this dude. He used to be weak as hell, and now he's kicking ass everywhere.
Yeah, well, there's also like the training arcs too, right?
Ah,
You
yeah,
see them
yeah.
actually progressively getting bigger and like transformations and stuff. I think Dragon Ball did do a lot of that.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
This is
right.
not my final form.
yeah, that old meme,
Yeah,
Like, what anime show doesn't have that if it's a fighting thing where it's like, just wait till I'm at 100%. It's like, yeah, it's so cliche now, but I guess at one point that was new, like in the 90s, I guess.
yeah. Like a lot of anime didn't just do that, So like it's maybe formulaic, or we're talking about like really when it comes to this stuff, like maybe just falls a lot into what is the word we were using earlier? Tropey. Like there's a lot of tropes and
Yeah.
everything. But I think it's also part of the magic of anime, because it's a lot of it is really tropey nowadays. Like you watch an anime and you're kind of like, it falls into the same tropes as everybody else. How many anime have a girl named Sakura in it? Or something.
Yeah, true.
Like it's just kind of part of like the anime experience, I think.
Is there any shows that you guys have like watched recently, or just like the past couple of years that, because it's so like cliche and anime tropey, you couldn't watch it? Because I definitely think there's a couple of shows now where I'm just like, I've seen this 1,000 times. Like I can't watch this again.
I'm not to that point yet, but Christian tells me about that point all the time.
Yeah, so
Really?
I talk about it sometimes because I have like a thing when it kind of pisses me off sometimes. Well, like I'll watch an anime and I'm like, dude, I've seen this anime before, and like it's not that anime. It's absolutely not that anime. It's something else. But because in my mind, like I'm like I've seen it before. Like I know like plot by plot, like this exact same thing happens. And then it turns out it's a different anime, and I'm like, what the fuck? How is it? It's a different anime. It has the exact same storyline. Like that kind of stuff just like annoys the shit out of me. And I know some people are like, oh, it's, or like when they recommend me stuff like that, and I get annoyed about it. I'm almost like, well, how the fuck is people like liking this one? It's exactly the same as the other one. I get annoyed about it. I almost rant about it sometimes because it's, to me, like I'm like, but you can't expect all anime to be like not the same, but like better. Like I guess you can't expect every anime to be a hitter, right? But there's
Yeah.
a lot
Right.
of trash in anime. I don't know if you have experienced this yet, Falcon, because you're kind of newer. But sometimes you start watching an anime and you're like, oh man, this is just trash. Like you don't even
Yeah.
have to watch it all the time. You just
I have.
what anime did you watch that was kind of like that?
Oh man, let me try and think of it. The name of it. Like I had to beg Brittany to let me stop watching it. It's like
I did know like My Hero at times has those super cliche moments. I think that's why there's so many kid fans, because sometimes it kind of does follow that, but
Yeah, but I think
just when
it's
My Hero is getting boring enough for
uh
me, it gets really good. I'm like, okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Right? Yeah, that totally just happened with it switching over to the villains.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we were just talking about it yesterday, right? Because like to me, like that, I don't like when every villain has to get a redemption arc of the sort, and they do that like quite a bit. Where they're like, oh, we have to show the background of this one villain, and oh, like he may be a shit guy, but he had a sad story, or like something like that. I'm like, I hate that happens. Like,
Yeah.
let me hate on them. It's fine. Let me hate on them. I just want to hate on them.
Some episodes like that are good, because I think Kirishima had like an episode where it was his backstory plus like him getting like better, I think, or something like that. And I was like, that's not too bad. Then it did a whole episode, I think, on one of the villains. I'm just like, I could sleep through this episode if I wanted to. It's so boring at this point. Like it's sometimes it's hit or miss whenever they do like full episodes about just one character, because they could be going on like a complete like story plot, like the main story, like Deku trying to like figure out where to get like Eri and all this stuff, and then it's just like, nope, we're gonna take a whole episode and talk about this side character from like 3 seasons ago. It's like, I hope you weren't
all
expecting
forgot.
that. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna throw this in real quick.
Or like the worst offender is when mid-season or like almost at the end of the season they'll do a recap of the entire show so far. I don't know if you ever seen that. Probably not. I don't know if you guys.
Oh
seen
man,
someone
dude, oh, I wish I could think of which one did it, but it like recaps after like 8 episodes, and it's like, I just watched that.
Yeah, like I understand. Like maybe the people are literally watch them like week to week. Like just some people that watch every episode, or maybe like they don't watch it every single week, but sometimes they watch it, and maybe that's like
I watched
a good
it
recap.
8 weeks ago.
Yeah, so like sometimes you're like, but I personally like I hate when they do that. I'm like, why don't you just trust that people will remember what happened in the story, especially when it's like things that happened an episode or two ago and there's already a flashback. I'm like, this literally just happened. You cannot do this.
If they want to release a recap episode and then that week's episode, I would love them for it. But like, if it's only a recap episode and I have to wait another week, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, and that's what they do. They literally do just the one episode of literally just a recap. And I get it, like there's a budget and they probably don't meet budget. They probably don't have enough money for that or whatever. But to us fans, it's just like, skip a week. Might as well just skip a week. Like if you don't have the budget for it, that's fine. Just skip a week. Like don't give me that stuff. I'm not interested in that.
I
remember
filler.
Yeah, it's really filler.
Right. It's like worse than filler.
It's worse than filler. Yeah.
True.
Because it's like they just giving you stuff for no reason. I'm like, no, do not give me that. I don't.
At least filler's new, I guess.
Yeah,
that's just not even new.
Yeah, some of the filler is really bad though. Like in Naruto, for example. Man, that filler was just it pained me to see the filler. I'm like, yo, this is bad filler. Like this is really bad.
I'll probably get in trouble for it, but I have not finished Naruto. I didn't really like it.
It's fine.
I need to get back into it, I guess, but
it's fine. It's
like
fine.
I watched like 40 episodes, and I'm like, eh.
I'm like 30 episodes in. Yeah, I ended up dropping it too. Like, I think I'll come back, but like, yeah,
I
I'm kind of in the same boat.
personally will say you can just escape the whole first saga, and then you just watch Shippuden because it's way better.
A lot of people talk about like stuff that happens later on in the show, because I'm on some anime groups on Facebook, and a lot of people talk about it. I'm like, man, that sounds like a really good show, but it's Naruto.
No, that's what it is, man. I literally, like, when I was young, I really never really watched Naruto, but I moved to the States and I had a cousin who was like 10 or 11, something like that. He was in middle school. I don't know what age is in middle school. I'm sorry, I don't. And he was really into Naruto. And so the first day that I met him, I saw that he had Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so I was like, "Oh, I played Yu-Gi-Oh." So we started talking, and he was like, "Do you like Naruto?" And I was like, "I know of it. Like I seen, uh, uh, like an episode or two, but I never like sat down and watched it." And he was like really into it. So like sometimes I will go visit my uncle, and I will sit down with him to watch an episode while he was like doing his homework or whatever, and eventually we found out about Shippuden, which was like the when they're older, and I was like, oh, that interests me a little bit more than watching some fucking kid screaming "Believe It" every 5 minutes. So I'm gonna give that a chance because I'm like,
He's screaming what?
"Believe it,
Believe it.
Yeah, that's his phrase. And that's the fun fact is that's just his anime his American phrase. He doesn't say that in Japanese. So like,
Oh, okay. That's
so
probably why I
weird.
don't know.
yeah. So but that's his phrase in the dub. He says "Believe it," and
I
that's
never watched it in
yeah.
dub.
Believe what? What's
I
that
don't know,
mean?
but like
It, man.
believe
It.
it. I don't know. I really actually never understood that. Now that you ask, like, believe what? I have no idea. I don't know. I just thought it was weird, and yeah. So I told.
I'm gonna Google it.
I mean, the guy loves ramen.
Yeah.
I respect that.
I respect
I
ramen.
love ramen too, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but it's a good show. I think a lot of people. What happens is, it's the same thing as the generation that grew up with Dragon Ball. It's just it may not be the best show ever, but you have like some emotional attachment to it.
Right.
Yeah,
Like I
so-
think if you don't grow up with it, like those long shows, like One Piece as well, right? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's kind of hard to get into it because the show probably has some really good arcs later on,
Yeah.
but like at the beginning, it's like it's a little rusty. That's why I started watching just regular Naruto, not Shippuden, because I'm like, if I'm gonna watch all of this show, I was like, yeah, I should probably do it right,
Right,
But,
yeah. No,
God, it is a
personally,
little
I think that
boring.
you can skip it and just go into Shippuden, because what they do is they do what we were just talking about earlier. There are entire episodes dedicated to bringing you back to the up to speed. They literally just tell you what happened on the previous Naruto show. So they tell you everything. So there's not even like any reason to even watch it because they tell you like, oh, this character, and they give you flashbacks of what happened, and everything. So I personally feel like that's just a better way to do it. Falcon, did you find it? The Believe
Yeah,
It thing? You said you were gonna Google it.
yeah, I did Google it. So a lot of people say that there was literally no purpose of it at all. It was basically just like, ending a sentence.
That's so
Oh
weird.
yeah, because in Japanese he uses datebayo. It doesn't mean anything. It's just kind of like, but it's in Japanese. There is a lot of different dialects and things with different with like a word. For example,
Right,
like
yeah.
using desu, for example, or des. Have you guys
Oh,
heard like
yeah.
desu?
I
Like,
have
they
not.
say
Yeah.
they say it sometimes in their sentences, and that's like a form. That's like part of the.
Oh,
the
you mean the
speaking.
word? Got you.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
word desu. They'll say it. And you're like, what the
Yeah.
hell does that mean? It means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. But
There's
it's
also,
like, that's how
like-
like it ends the sentence.
There's also deska or whatever, which is like asking a question.
Oh, but that's a question.
Yeah.
That's asking a question. No, desu it doesn't mean anything. It's just like that's how like it's like a form of speaking, I guess, like a way of saying things.
It's just making it sound a specific way, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, I saw watching a podcast, and there is a village that ends their sentences in "nya," like a cat.
What the heck?
That
Yeah,
reminds me of the knights who say "ni" from the Holy Grail.
that's funny. Anyway, so I didn't talk about my origin story, but it's
Yeah, I was
it's
about
like-
to say we skipped
Yeah.
yours.
so it's very like, I guess normal, but not really. Okay, so what happens is, I grew up in Mexico, but we didn't grow up with cable, and for you to like get the shows like the American shows with subtitles or like dub and everything, you really have to pay cable. So all we had was like the open TV, like the channels. There's like two channels or whatever. But anyway, there was a cartoon channel. But like 90% of the things that they had was like anime stuff. But like anime stuff from like the 80s. You know, like, so there's like shows like Gundam or Saint Seiya or some of these shows you guys may not even know about. There's was this show called Haiti. It's about this one girl who lives in the Alps. It's an anime about this German girl who lives in the Alps with her grandpa, and every day they're just like it's just like a slice of life basically. They're just hanging out, and they have like this catchy song in in the opening or whatever, and it's just like everyday life. They just hang out, have with their friends, and do things. There are some times where like somebody gets like the grandpa gets sick in one episode or something like that, and there's this one girl who is friends with the Haiti girl, and she's like in a wheelchair and she can't walk. So like she talks about it or whatever. But it's like really like easy to watch anime. But like I don't know, I was like, what is this? It's so weird, but I liked it. I thought it was like really strange. Then there was anime called Ranma One Half, and it's about this guy who he and his dad were training in like this mystical water thing or whatever, and they fell into the water. So when the hot water hits him, his dad becomes a panda, and he becomes a girl.
Fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah. So like the whole thing is about like every episode is about like him getting wet and being a girl, and like trying to hide his secret or whatever, because you know like he has like a fiance and everything, and there are other people that have fallen into the water because of them, because of the dad on him. So like they come for revenge. This was this one girl who fell, and I think she becomes like a swan or something like that. And then there's one that becomes a pig, like a little fat black pig or something like that.
I need to watch this. That's all I know.
Anyway, so like
yeah, it sounds ridiculous. I don't even
it's
see
really
it.
so
it's funny.
whack,
It's really
like-
funny. It's funny, and he has like martial arts, so like they like fight and stuff like that. But it's also really funny. And that one for weeks, I was so scared to shower because I didn't want to become a girl. Cause like I was young. I was pretty young when that was out. But like every time like I would watch that episode, my mom would like, "Oh, you need to go shower." I'm like, "No, I don't want to shower." I would turn into a girl.
Right.
I don't want to be a lizard.
I don't want to be a girl.
I mean, if you think about it this way, you become an anime protagonist if it does happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you lost your chance, man.
Yeah, I lost my
Yeah.
chance. Now I lost it. Now I won't be able to be a girl guy, showering guy. I guess I don't know. Yeah, that show like it was really funny. And then there was another one later on. I don't know. I just watched a lot of anime growing up. Like 90% of the stuff that we watched was just anime. Oh, there was this one that everybody loved at school. It was one about soccer. It was it's called Captain Tsubasa in in English, but it's basically about this group of kids who play soccer. And I don't know if not you guys know, but the national sport in Mexico is soccer. So like everybody likes football. Like that's just the thing that they just talk about it all the time. So have an anime show dedicated about soccer was like everybody talked about it all the time, and like I used to watch it, but it was ridiculous, man. Sometimes there will be like 10 episodes just to hit a goal. Like they will have to be like, okay, the guy's gonna shoot the ball, and then like this like they had to talk about their past, you know, like mom, the kid, you know, like the mom is sick, and like, mom, I promise you, I will win the next cup or like championship or whatever. And the mom's like, you have to do this for the family or whatever. It's like super ridiculous and everything. And then like everybody having their own flashbacks about like training really hard to be the champion or whatever. And the one kid, his trainer, he's like this guy from Brazil who is a really big expert on like soccer or whatever. And he's like, oh, I believe in you, I know you will be the next world champion or whatever. And like this one kid is like, he's like, they're like children, but this anime spans all the way to like when they're like in university, like playing professionally. So like they start like in like elementary school playing like It's
Did
crazy.
this make you want to play soccer, though? That's what I need to know. Did you go play soccer and think about that anime?
I tried, man, but I've never been good. I was a okay
He was-
goalie, but
He was
no,
probably too worried that he would have to take a shower after playing soccer and get turned into a girl.
Dude, you turned yourself into one of the background characters in Persona that don't have like a face. You know what I'm talking about? That's what you turn yourself into, Kiro. That's what happened, bro.
that's what happens. Oh man, I lost my chance. Right? No, that was really funny. But the thing about the anime is, you guys seen like Kuroko no Basket? Is the show about like basketball players?
I haven't watched a lot of sports.
Yeah, I'm not a sports guy either.
I haven't seen that one, but I watched Haikyuu, and they have like the same art style.
Okay, so in Haikyuu how they do some like some I guess not attacks. They do like combo or like when they'll do like a move. I guess if you want to say it.
Yeah.
And you hear like the crows or like they have like there's like some animations to it that makes it like really interesting animations to it.
Right, it's a super
Like a
it
superpower
seems
or
like it's a
something.
superpower fight, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
just them playing sports. But
Yeah,
they
exactly.
like over exaggerate it.
Yeah, so that's exactly how they used to do it in that show. I guess that was like the first one that did that. But like there was this one guy who had like a kick. There was like a wolf or something like that. And he would like kick it, and like they will show the repetition of the kick, like exactly, or like a snake or something like that. It will be like the same thing. You'll see like the shape of the animal, and like it'll shape that way with the soccer ball, and they're like a slow motion, and everybody just like freezes and looks at the ball just moving slowly, in like a slow mo. And then like the goalie is like, I don't know, it's like all like super powered or something like that. And then he like jumps like 3 meters and like hits it, and you're like, that's impossible, but it's an anime, so whatever. It's like stuff like that. Or like there was
Did
one
they ever
time-
have one where like the goalie like grew 3 times taller than he should have been?
No, but
Just
what he
eats
did,
the ball.
what he did is the goalie he went and jumped from one side of the post to the other side of the post. Like he kicked the mid air. He kicked on the post, and that propelled him to the other side. And he like he was like crazy
What?
shit, man. Like I
I can see it. I can see it happening.
Like
What
you
is
see
it?
like the goalie post, right? Like it's like a
What
it's
is
like
it
a
called?
rectangle, right? What do you mean? What is it called? What is what called?
What's the anime called? Captain.
Captain Tsubasa.
I think they made a video game about that. Like,
Yeah,
a
they did,
couple years
yeah.
ago. I almost covered it.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, there was a game not long ago actually. Yeah, you're right. In the PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
it's
this one's
supposed
really
to be
old
that.
school, but yeah, it's called Captain Tsubasa. I don't know
The
what it's
Rise
called.
of the New Champions.
Yeah, that's
That's
probably
the game.
That's probably gonna be the game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it's really old school. Even you see the artwork for like the original one, and you can see it's really 80s. And that was like in Shonen Jump too. Anyway, yeah, I used to watch that, and it was crazy, but I thought it was the coolest thing. I was like, man, if I could play soccer like him, like everybody just had these crazy soccer things they did. It was just insane. I think.
I never watched anything that was like realistic, like for anime, other than like Pokemon. But I could just play the games, right? I never watched any sports stuff. I feel like I
really?
would have been inspired to do things like that if I would have seen them. Luckily enough, I mean, I got involved with music. You told me to watch that one anime, like Beck.
Oh yeah,
I think
I tell
it was.
everybody to watch Beck because I love
Dude,
it. It's so good.
it sounds like it's right up my alley. Like I need to do it. But
Yeah, I
I've
think so
only
too.
seen one episode, but I need to.
Yeah,
need to watch
you guys both need to watch it. It's super good. I tell everybody to watch it because it also has. I'm not kidding here when I say this. It also has the best live action movie. Like I never seen a good live action anime movie, and that one actually does. Like they did the impossible. They got actors that look like the characters that can also play the instruments.
Oh, wow,
shit.
that is
Yeah.
good.
So like
That's talent, man.
yeah, so like the band they played 3 songs in the movie, but like every single song that they play is literally them playing the song. It's not like and they also have the Red Hot Chili Peppers in the openings in the movie.
Like the actual people from it.
No, the band, like the song. They have Can't Stop. Like that's the
Oh,
opening
okay.
song for like the movie, which
Oh,
is
that's
cool.
I thought you meant like Anthony shows up.
Oh no, that'll be pretty dope. Yeah. No, but there is this guy who is a a Kurt Cobain lookalike. He's like the friend of the. He gets killed in the before the game before the anime starts, like in story wise he gets killed, and
Oh.
it's like it's part of like the whole mystery of like, so the main protagonist, there's two main protagonists, so there's like one kid that is starting to play the guitar, and then there's this other guy named Ryosuke who is a half Japanese half American dude. So he was living in the States. He and his friends snuck and they stole a really expensive guitar from someone that has bullet shots on it, and they stole the guitar. And anyway, so the one of the friends became famous in a band, but he couldn't keep the guitar because they stole the guitar from someone. So they decided to give it to the other guy to keep it. But then they also started doing a band and they found the guitar again, which is kind of like the whole plot of the story. Like it's them about learning, doing a band and doing all the band stuff. But there's this subplot about like the mafia and this one dude that is looking for this guitar that is worth a lot of money that they stole. It's a cool plot twist on the whole, like, oh, we're just in a band or whatever. I actually quite like that stuff. It was pretty cool.
I feel like I could be like inspired by that. Like if I feel like if I watched that as a kid, I maybe would have picked up the guitar sooner, or something like that.
Yeah,
You know?
I think a lot of people will like. I really wanted to get other people into the anime because I was like, dude, it's such a good anime. Like, watch it. Don't sleep on it. But
I don't feel like people do that anymore either. With like modern music, people don't get together and like play as a band. You know what I mean? Like in like the garage anymore. I really love that.
it's such a weird concept nowadays, right? Like I don't think people do it anymore either. Because I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, do people actually like? I'm sure there's some bands out there that still do it, but they're more like indie, I guess, or like that type of stuff. I don't think it's like how it used to be with garage bands or.
Yeah, I don't think the garage band exists as much as it did anymore.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, my dad was in one though.
Oh, was he really? I can't imagine.
Yeah.
That it doesn't seem like the time. What did he play?
Guitar.
Oh yeah. Was that Darren?
No, that
Your
my
older
other
dad.
dad.
Oh, okay. Because I know he also plays the guitar, right?
Yes, they both play guitar.
That's crazy. They both play guitar and you don't play guitar, man.
I know.
Like,
Me and Kira both play guitar as well.
Yeah, I play
I
guitar too.
came from a really cool family, but I'm the lame kid.
Now you watch anime. Oh.
Now you watch anime.
Yeah, now I got one thing going for me.
Yeah, so that's my origin story. I from then on I always watched anime. Even when I moved in the States, like I said, I already had watched anime. So like now I was watching like more popular anime, if you will, like Naruto or like I remember the first time that I saw Bleach was from a Shonen Jump magazine. So they used to sell these big magazines in the United States that were like a big thick magazine, and it will have maybe like 10 chapters for different mangas. So we'll have like one chapter for this manga, one chapter for this manga, one chapter for this manga. Anyway, on one of them it was one chapter for Bleach, and
Oh shit.
and I saw it and I was like, dude, what is this? Because, you know, like, you go from something like Naruto to Bleach, and, like, the style is cool as hell. Like, you can say what you will about the story of Bleach, which is not good. But when it comes to, like, the design, the character design, and the style is really fucking cool. Like, I always admire that. I'm like, yeah, this is good shit. Like,
Was it the first chapters of Bleach in it? Like, do you still have that like Shonen Jump issue?
yeah, I have a bunch of them, actually. I have, like, a whole box full of them.
Those might be worth something someday. You know, who
Yeah,
knows? If like a show
maybe,
starts
yeah.
off or something. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know,
that's kind of interesting.
but yeah, the anime did never finished. Actually, it kind of just got dropped.
That's
I heard
sad.
the
That happens a
manga
lot.
is really good, but the anime is just not as much.
That's what happens. Well, sometimes like what it is at some point the anime catches up with the manga. Especially with serialized shows like shonen, like anything Shonen Jump, like My Hero Academia, for example, or even Black Clover.
Yeah, they just went on hiatus
Yeah,
because
they
of
just
it.
go on hiatus now because they
Oh,
realize their mistake, which is you have to make stuff up now. You know, you have to do the big issue, which is doing the filler stuff because
well,
they know people don't want to watch filler. They don't want
either
to
you
Well,
sit
you
do
around
could
and
just
either do filler or you wait a long time. Like Attack on Titan got huge from its first season, and they didn't want any filler, and you ended up having to wait. I think it was like 3.5 years for like season 2 of
yeah,
Attack on Titan or something like
but
that.
they also switched studios too.
Yeah, they also did the series where they're like little kids in like elementary school or whatever the hell. That
high
was so
school,
weird.
high school or middle school. I haven't watched it yet. Is it
Yeah,
ridiculous?
I never really watched it. It makes no sense because there's like Titans around, but they don't
Right.
care. It's like what's happening? I don't
It's
get
just
it.
it's just
But
a spin-off. I never watch those kind of stuff. I'm not into spin-offs or anything like that because one, like you said, it makes absolutely no fucking sense. But also, it's weird. Like it's like it doesn't. It's just bizarre. Like why? Like what is the story explanation for this? Like it makes no sense. I don't watch stuff
Capitalism.
like that. I'm just like I need some kind of like yes the whole world of Titans and everything don't make sense overall, but like you don't need to add more to that. Like it's already interesting enough on itself. Um, yeah, I've never been a fan of that kind of stuff where they add like some random stuff sometimes, or like
there is,
even change the art style and everything, right?
yeah, it was like chibi art style.
Yeah,
It was
I don't like.
weird.
I don't know. I'm not into the chibi art style. I've never been into that kind of stuff. Even with the Persona games, because the Persona games go like to chibi games. Where
Oh,
like
the Q games.
yeah, I never been
Yeah.
into those either. Like I think they're okay, but why not just make it regular? Like what's the point of that? You don't save ink or like
I'm gonna
time.
change my Chibi Facebook profile picture. I gotta change it now.
I'm about to say my YouTube is like a chibi character of me. It's
I'm
like
over
yeah,
here-
I
I'm
don't
over
like it
here-
either, man. I don't like it either.
I'm like here hating on them, but you guys are like chibi pictures. I don't know.
You know, there is a show though. Like we said, there's like either the filler thing starts happening because it's catching up to like the manga, or you have to wait a long time, like Attack on Titan. But there is a weird third route you can go, and that's what happened with like Full Metal Alchemist. Like their first original run of Full Metal Alchemist, when it caught up to the manga, she just let the studio do whatever with the story while she like just stayed back and wrote all the manga.
Yeah.
Then once she finished it, she came out with Brotherhood, right? That's why like,
Right.
Brotherhood's
Yeah.
just like
But
that much better because
honestly, the thing about Full Metal Alchemist is even the original was still pretty good. Like
Yeah,
sure,
it was
it didn't
alright.
follow the manga like at the end or anything like that, but it was still legitimately a pretty good show. Like I was still like really happy with it. Although there's this movie. The movie is the one thing that is crazy about it. So have you seen Full Metal Alchemist, Phil? At least the other one.
I've seen all of Brotherhood, but
Right.
I haven't
Okay,
seen
okay.
the.
So-
I haven't seen all of the
Okay.
original one, but I've seen parts of it.
So in Brotherhood.
all right.
They so I'm sorry, not in Brotherhood. So in the original one, they literally time travel, not time travel, I guess. They wake up, and in turn, and after a certain incident, which is part of the story or whatever, the door. Whenever they go to the not world, like it's this white door with the door. You know what I'm talking about?
Where I guess I don't want to spoil the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, it's a really big spoiler thing, but you know the white door, right? The black door in the white room.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, they open the door in the anime, in that one anime, and in the movie they go into World War II. Like no superpowers, no alchemy. This is legit World War II. Like it's like the Nazis and the German and Europe is just fighting and everything like that. And that's like because that's what it's based off of. But I didn't think
Right.
we were gonna go. That's a weird route. So like it's like him like trying to get back into his own world and everything, and like but his brother is alive and he has a body and everything. So he's like, okay, well, things may not be too bad in this world. You know, like people are still alive. Some people that he loves and cares for is still alive in this world and everything. So it gives you like a what if scenario. To me, like that movie is just like a what if kind of thing. But that movie was the ending of the show, which was really weird again because they go into like real life with the Nazis and everything, which again really weird.
It is interesting though. I don't usually like when they do time travel, but like you said, even just the normal Full Metal isn't too bad. I mean, I think Brotherhood's probably my favorite anime, if not my number one of all time.
Yeah,
like I cosplay Edward Elric, you know, like I fucking love that show, dude. But
yeah, it's one of my favorite ones too. I really like it a whole lot. In fact, I really want to tattoo the Elric symbol.
Thing?
No, the Elric symbol. It's like a cross with a snake.
Oh yeah. The one he has on the
yeah, I want to tattoo it on my arm.
Dude, that concert that I went to a while back, there was a chick in front of us that had a homunculi tattoo, and I was like, she's gonna be the end of the world. We got to deal with this right now.
Guess we gotta beat her up. I don't know. I guess we gotta do this now.
Yeah. I love that show. It's a really good show. What other shows have you guys seen? Like older ones or new ones or anything?
I guess we could do because we could probably do like our favorite anime stuff like on another episode. But like, what are you guys currently watching right now? I guess so people can get like
an idea.
Maybe what we're doing in the future.
I'm actually watching more comedy recently. I was watching mostly shonen for like a good while there.
Yeah.
So I've started to get into like slice of life and comedy stuff. The two that I'm watching right now is one from 2013, The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Oh, that one's so good. It's so funny.
Season 2 is apparently about to come out 8 years later.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty good. It sucks, buddy.
Was it really that long?
Yeah.
8 years? Oh my god, I feel like that show's not that old. I'm getting old, dude. I remember when that came out. Holy shit. Have you seen A Silent Voice? You said you're getting into slice of life. Like, have you seen it's on Netflix. It's called
I have it in my list.
Dude.
It's a great movie.
Get the fucking tissues ready, but that might be my favorite anime movie, but that's for another episode. But dude, if you want a good slice of life, watch that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good one. So what else are you guys watching right now?
I'm also watching How Heavy Are the Dumbbells That You Lift? And
yeah, you were telling me about that, right?
It is absolutely ridiculous. I love it. It is a workout anime, but it's comedy, and like it surprised me at first. I didn't realize it was going to be fan service, but like as it goes on, it's definitely got a good bit of fan service in it. But the comedy is just on point. And I typically listen to more sub than I do dub, but I think this one is made for dub.
Some shows just do dub so well. It's like,
yeah.
I got to do it that way,
Yeah,
I got to.
I think just dubs will have better. Like it's just better nowadays. Like when I used to watch anime, like first it will take so long for you to get it, for get a dub, and then the other thing is, it wasn't good. Like frankly, sometimes it just wasn't good. But nowadays, I feel like they have a lot of voice actors now, and a lot of them do match their voices and everything.
Yeah, and like when you listen to old dubs, it's kind of like they're translating it. Now they're acting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's people are getting better at the dubbing and everything. Because now, what's up?
Did you watch anime in Spanish?
Yeah, I
Or did
did.
you
I
always?
did. I watch
Okay.
anime in Spanish too.
So what do you prefer, English or
Honestly,
like
the
Spanish?
Spanish dubs have always been good. Like they
Really?
were always really good. Like not only do they dub the the anime, they dub the music too. So like the openings and the endings, they were all dubbed too.
That's
So
badass.
yeah, so like instead of having like like Dragon Ball for example, they do like a remix just like Dragon Ball something something. Like instead of doing that, they literally have like the classics of like the Japanese openings, but just dubbed, which is cool. Like they actually like they put effort into like paying a singer to sing the songs of the openings and the endings and everything. So
It's pretty good.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
what it is Mexico. They already dub everything, right? So like all the American shows get dubbed, right? So like it's not any different for them to like dubbing anime, because it's already a foreign thing. There's no Mexico doesn't have like a lot of like local cartoons or anything like that. In fact, I only know of one that is a local cartoon. Everything else is like from other countries and everything. So like you see like Canadian shows. We got a lot from a lot of countries. We got Australian shows, Canadian shows, New Zealand shows. We used to get like a lot of mixtures on a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I just feel like they got the dub game really set up because nothing's made for Spanish. Like everything's made on English or other languages. So
right.
yeah, so yeah, everything has to be dubbed.
I do know that the Spanish version, the Spanish like script or whatever for Dragon Ball, that's what was given to Funimation because they're in Texas, right? They didn't get the Japanese like script of Dragon Ball in America. They got the Spanish one. Funnily enough, that's why there's like so
Translated
many
from that?
errors. Yeah, they
That's
didn't
funny.
translate. They didn't hear the Japanese till like 10 years later or something like that.
That's
Nice.
crazy.
It's so weird.
That's crazy and
But
kind
yeah.
of funny, but it is what it is. So were you watching anything else, Falcon?
I mean, I just started Black Butler, but I'm not really enthused yet.
Yeah.
I'm only 3 episodes in,
Yeah,
so they still got
you
some
into
time.
it? That anime exploded back in the early 2000s. It was like that and Death Note, but for the wrong reasons.
True.
Because like all the girls were into L and the one Butler dude. I don't know what his name is because I've never seen the show.
The Butler guy,
But Butler, what's his name?
that's what his name is. It's the Butler guy.
The Butler guy. Yeah, well, the Butler guy.
Sebastian.
Sebastian. Yeah, that's what.
Oh yeah, that's
like
it. That's it.
the most Butler name.
I've heard that before.
Sebastian. That's how Sea Dog VA got his career.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was
Black
doing
Butler,
jobs
bro.
for Black Butler. That's funny.
That is interesting, man. I think it was also like during that period, it was like I watch edgy anime, like Death Note and stuff like that was like edgy.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like, it was like
And-
definitely like
and-
teen angsty times, you know.
And even Black Butler is also an edgy anime if you think about it. It's like one kid who has a contract with a demon, and it's just they just have like the high life or whatever. It's a really interesting concept. I only heard from people. I never actually sat myself and watch it. I think I seen like one episode, and it was just like a random episode.
It's also weirdly
saw-
sexual at times with the butler. It's
Is
just
it
like,
really?
Yeah.
what's going on here, bro? What's going
Well,
on?
they know their audience. Like I'm sure
Yeah.
teenage girls that are into like that kind of stuff are like they love it. They eat
It was
up.
a girl that told me to watch it.
Yeah.
I watched episode 1 and was like, and then I watched episode 2 and I was like, okay, this might be a cool show. And then I watched episode 3 and I was like, I'm gonna go watch the other thing now.
So I've been watching this anime called the second season is about to come out. It's called My Next Life as a Villainess. So this show is basically a take on the go to another dimension isekai genre thing. So what it is so this girl's a gamer. She's a nerd, right? And she's into those dating sims for guys and stuff. So she dies in this game but she's not the main protagonist. She's actually the one girl that gets killed in every single route because she's the bad person. She's the villainess. So Now then her entire purpose is trying not to die because she knows that every possible ending she gets killed somehow. You know, like if the main protagonist ends with this guy, she gets killed, or like so in every route she dies somehow. So like the entire time she's just like trying to make it so that she doesn't die. Like she's trying to get them together, but in a way that like it won't kill her or something. But it turns out everybody is into her because she's like really friendly and really nice and everything. So literally both guys and girls, this is like the reverse harem of harems. Every person, guy or girl, is into her.
That's like an interesting perspective, right? Because like most isekai, it's like you're the like main protagonist boy who's trying to beat and get to the end, right? But this is like you're like playing as Bowser in a game.
Yeah,
that's kind of how it
exactly.
is. That's interesting.
Yeah,
like
basically, and it's not like there's barely any action. There's like it's really like a slice of life mixed with the isekai. So there's none of like the high action scenes like, oh, I'm overpowered and I'm gonna conquer the world kind of thing or anything like that. It's legit just like she's just trying to survive, and like day to day they just like eat food and hang out, go to school, that kind of stuff. So it's a really refreshing anime. I think that they really excelled at that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. I like it. Definitely checked it out. I think that one just made me interested on like different type of anime and everything.
I might have to pick
Yeah,
that up
sounds
because
cool.
that just sounds that sounds interesting.
Yeah. So I'm watching that, and then I started watching this anime that looks pretty cool, called Tokyo Revengers.
I've heard a lot about that one.
I
Yeah.
haven't. I've never heard that before. Weirdly,
So it's actually kind of cool. I think you will like it actually too. It's about this dude who is so he used to be part of a gang. You know, like one of those
Mikey.
Japanese '80s biker gangs, kind of thing. And and his girlfriend got killed, and he got the ability to go back to the past, but he can only be there for there's like a lot of limitations on like the time traveling, so it's not one of those but he just goes back and changes everything. He's only there for a specific amount of time, and he can only get information. I don't think he can change anything of the past, but he's able
Mm.
to like see what happened and everything. So the whole purpose of him is going back to the past is because the person that killed his girlfriend is one of the people that used to be part of the gang.
So he's like trying to hunt them down.
What was that?
Is he like trying to hunt them down?
Yeah, no, he more than hunting now. He's like a mystery type. He's like trying to find out what happened. So it's pretty cool. I think that they approached it in a really smart way. Like I said, it's not the typical time travel change everything. Because it gets kind of boring when I do that. When it's like time travel, I think time travel can be very boring sometimes.
if it's done right, it can be very interesting.
Yeah,
Like
if it's done right. But sometimes
I
it's
think
just
time
boring.
travel. I think like I know this is an anime, but like Back to the Future, they do time travel so well. I love it.
Yeah, I like Back to the Future. It's my
Yeah.
favorite. One of my favorite movies.
Any other shows you've been watching or
There's
recently?
there's one more that I just finished watching. This is a Chinese anime. It's called Psychic Princess. It's I don't know. It's really this one is really hard to explain. But basically, this one girl has to be married to a prince, but the girl doesn't want to. So she gets her twin sister to be the one to marry the one prince, and but the one girl was like trained in the mountains, so she's like a warrior. She's not a princess or anything like that, and it's just kind of living her life as a princess. It's really weird to explain, but there's like comedy at some point. It's super funny, and honestly, I enjoy shows like this because there is some like say some action, but there's just a lot of comedy. Like every episode, I was just like dying laughing. Um, I don't know, and I love Chinese animation. It's getting really good. Although
Yeah,
it's still weird to listen to Chinese. Like sometimes I listen to Chinese and I'm like, this is hard to listen to
I
But
don't know if I've watched any Chinese before, like anime.
there's
I've
been
got a Chinese one on my list.
which one is it?
Brittany watched and recommended it to me.
Which one is it?
It's called Link Click.
Oh yeah, that one's super good too. It's about these two guys that time travel to they're not able to time travel. They're able to, one of them can look into the past, and the other one is able to look at like from like the perspective of another person, but he's not able to change anything. So it's a really interesting concept. It's like these two guys that are yeah, it's pretty cool, and it gets really emotional too because some of the lives that people experience is like pretty fucked up, but they're not able.
That's what
they're
I've
not able
heard.
to change anything. So like they have to let things run their course and everything, and sometimes like they experience some shit that really fucks them up, and that's how you experience like the development of the people and everything. It's a pretty cool anime. But anyway, yeah, that's what I've been watching. What about you, Rising? You been watching anything?
Recently, I've been like on a weird, like older anime sort of thing because there's a lot of anime as a kid that I seen like maybe an episode of or something like that, but I just never got into it. But supposedly they're like really really good. But Cowboy Bebop was one of them. I've watched a few episodes of that. I've been like super busy lately, so I haven't been like getting on like watching the episodes as much as I should. But like Cowboy Bebop was one. I'm halfway through Evangelion, which Evangelion has been blowing my mind on how good that is. Every episode to me is like a banger. I love watching Evangelion. I feel like once I'm finished with it, it's going to be one of my favorites, if not like one of my favorites already. And for the most part, it's just been those two, honestly. And then I do have Naruto, which has been on the back burner. I'll watch an episode or two of that every like once in a while. I'm trying to eventually watch all of it because I'm in like this weird sort of like bet with like my friend. He said that if I watched Naruto, he would watch Dragon Ball because he's never seen Dragon Ball, and I got him into anime. I'm like, dude, you gotta watch Dragon Ball. I love it, dude. You're gonna love Dragon Ball. Trust me, just watch it. And he's like, okay, but if I do it, you gotta watch Naruto because I was in like a similar situation where I've only seen Dragon Ball. He's only seen Naruto. I'm like, well, if we just swap shows or something like that, let's just do that. So every once in a while, I'll watch Naruto. But other than that, it's kind of what I've been up to, and Attack on Titan, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm not caught up with that though.
Yeah, I read the manga, but I'm gonna
Oh, you're not
read
caught
it
up with
again.
it?
No, I'm not.
What season are you in?
I'm on the newest season. I'm only like 4 episodes in, 4 or 5 in.
Yeah, you got time to catch up.
Yeah, I'm not too far behind. I'm just,
Oh yeah, you're not super behind. Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I'm gonna reread it again because I do want to watch the final season. But I read the ending and everything. But I don't
Tell
know.
me about it.
Yeah, did I tell? Yes, spoil you?
You did, but I
I'm
also was
sorry.
like, you also said, do you really want spoilers? And I said, yeah, man, tell me.
Oh, okay. I don't remember if I spoiled you or not, so I do.
Don't
apologize
spoil it for
that.
me.
Oh no, I won't. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to read it again because I want to experience that final season with everybody else, which is kind of my problem too because sometimes like as much as I watch anime, I just read a lot of manga more. It's just easy for me nowadays.
I've been trying to get into it. I bought the Tomie Junji Ito collection, and I've been loving this. Honestly, I've been wanting to get into reading because I just hear reading so like just good in terms of entertainment, but also like for like your mental capacity, it's just good to read. I guess reading is so much better for you than like just sitting at a screen, like in terms of your eyes and just like understanding it. And I was like, how can I get into reading? I'm like, wait a minute. It's like, I like anime. What's the reading version of anime? I was like, oh, I'll just get a manga, and I've been loving it. It's so good. This Junji Ito. If you haven't seen Junji Ito out there, it's
Any
great.
of his work is good. Yeah, he does a lot.
If you
of
love horror, dude, it's so good.
It's really good stuff. His artwork is really crazy too. Like the way that he draws monsters is like it's like nightmare inducing. Like if you see something and like I'm gonna have nightmares about this shit later.
The funny thing is he's like a super nice guy.
Yeah,
he's
you
just
see,
like a normal
you see
dude.
him, he just looks like a really normal dude. Yeah. I seen like interviews with him and everything, and he just looks like the normal. Because you see, what's his name? The equivalent of what's this horror author that he does like a lot of crazy horror stories.
H.P. Lovecraft?
No, not Junji Ito. We were just talking about Junji Ito though. What is the no H.P. Lovecraft? Because that's something else.
Well, it's
He
kind
did
of
like
horror.
It and like the cemetery for pet cemetery.
I don't remember. I can't. I don't know. To be honest. I mean, I know Tim Burton. That's kind of like the only other
No.
horror.
Oh, Stephen King.
I
Stephen
know.
King. You
Oh
look at
yeah,
Stephen
Stephen King.
and
Okay.
he just looks bizarre. He looks like a crazy dude. He looks like he could write stuff like that. Like whenever I see him, like he does it.
So does Tim Burton. Tim Burton looks crazy too.
Yeah, Tim Burton looks,
he definitely does.
He loves those two kind of crazy. Yeah, you see him, you're like, oh man,
Tim
no wonder
Burton's
he came up with
insane.
This shit. Yeah, he's
I love
insane.
Tim
And
Burton, though.
he's like obsessed with.
I mean, it's enjoyable insanity, but he's definitely insane.
What is those two actors that he loves to ship all the time? He has them like,
Johnny
Helena
Depp
Bottom
and-
Cutter.
Johnny Depp and whatever her name is, and they're always
Helena.
together.
Helena Bonham Carter.
And I'm not gonna bother remembering that song. Thanks for bringing that up.
HBC.
Yeah,
I just call her
HBC.
Helena.
Yeah, she
they are great though, to be honest.
they're great together, but you can tell like he ships them or something, and that's
Well, he dated
He really does.
Helena. Helena was his wife for a long time.
Yeah, no,
Then they
but I'm saying like,
divorced.
he ships them together or something. I don't know. That's my personal take. He ships them. He's a big shipper. He sees them together, and he's like, "Yeah, that's what's up. That's my OTP right there."
They all are good friends, I guess. Even though they divorced, apparently they're also like just really good friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is an anime. Wait a minute. Hold on.
This is an anime. What? Hey, maybe
Hold on
one
a
day,
second.
one day we get
broke some rule.
the Nightmare for Christmas anime.
Dude, people would freak out. You know how much like you know how many tattoos there actually would be then? There's always like that joke of the Jack Skeleton tattoo. Like so many girls have that, dude. I never thought it was true, but it really is.
Is it really?
Yeah. I think Family Guy made a joke about it. And it's like that shit is true actually.
That's crazy. Yeah. I like how we went. I don't know why I started talking about. Oh, Junji Ito. Yeah, Junji Ito.
Yeah.
That was the topic. Not related to Johnny Depp in any kind of way.
Yeah. Apparently Junji Ito's in Death Stranding too, by the way. I don't know if you played that game, but he's
I don't know.
he's in that.
I'm not
apparently.
I'm not into that game. I just every time I see it, I kind of just get tired. Like I'm like, oh man, you have to walk. That's my least favorite thing to do in games.
Yeah, if there's not fast travel, ain't for me.
Yeah, I was just like, and I know there's a good story because a lot of people were like, "Oh, this story's so good, you have to experience it." I'm like, yeah, but then you have to walk a lot. Like, I already don't like walking in games. I don't like walking in reality. You think I want to sit down and walk with the character carrying packages? And like, that's just not for me. Have you seen any of that?
There are some games that I'm fine with. What?
Have you seen that game? Death Stranding?
I've seen it, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just games. Every time that I see it, I get tired. I just look at it. I'm like, I feel like I just
get out of breath
I
watching.
just
it,
worked out. Like I did a whole
I
workout
mean-
just looking at that game.
You're not the first person that I've heard say it feels like it's a walking simulator.
And that's just my take. I don't know. It may be different, but everything that I've seen about it seems like that. That and you have to collect your own poop and do
What?
poop.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, hold on a second.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
yeah. You have to collect your own poop and make poop bombs out of it, which you find these spirits with.
You can stop. I'm done.
You're like, I'm done. Yeah.
Look, I'm just looking forward to the next title. Supposedly, they're supposed to have Norman Reedus. They're supposed to do the Silent Hill game. Supposedly, Sony bought the rights to that and everything, so they
No
might
way
be
they
doing
bought
that.
the rights. I don't think they will buy the rights for that. There's
No,
way
they
too
already
many other
did.
things. Who said that?
I don't know. It's I don't know. It's out there. I can't remember
Your
what,
mama.
but I swear I've seen that somewhere. But I think they did it so what's it, Hideo Kojima, so he could. Is it
We'll
that?
finish that game with
So he
Guillermo
could-
del Toro.
so he could do it. Yeah, I think they bought it for him. Anyway, let's back to anime. Is there any anime you guys are looking forward to? Because I know like My Hero's doing some more stuff soon and whatnot. Anything you guys are looking forward to, like near future wise, or anything new anime? I guess.
Well, I'm looking forward to the second half of AOT for sure.
Yeah,
I just started rewatching that like the third time.
For the third time. Let's see, an anime that I'm looking forward to. I think I'm looking for, so I don't know if you guys knew, but Bleach is making a comeback.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really?
I'm actually looking forward to, I guess not the anime, because I don't know if there's going to be an anime for it, but it's definitely a manga coming back.
There's supposed to be an anime for it too.
Really? So that's cool. I will be interested in seeing it.
I'm pretty sure.
I think that could work. Like, I feel like people are interested in that. I just felt like maybe at the time when it first came out, people weren't that excited about it because maybe the show got bigger later. I feel like it got a little bit bigger later, like just at the wrong time. I don't know. It's sort of strange. So I think with like Evangelion, I'm not sure if at the time it was as big as it is now, but like now it's like the holy grail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think times have changed a lot too. So we'll see. I think it's gonna do good, but I guess we'll find out.
Certain shows just age well.
Yeah, some shows age well. Some shows don't age well at all. Like I don't know. I'm trying
the original Fruits Basket didn't age well.
Show.
But they remade it, and it looks super good now.
Yeah, I think what happened is it also pissed off fans because it didn't follow the manga at the end. It was one of those times where the manga wasn't done, and then they just kind of made an ending for it.
Yeah, Erased doesn't follow the manga ending either. I started collecting that manga because I'm like, I really loved the show, but everybody's like, the ending sucks. I'm like, I thought it was okay, but like, dude, the ending on the like Erased manga is so much better. And there's 6 volumes of it, and I have the first one, so I'm trying to, I guess, read through it all to get the better ending. I hate how I have to do that sometimes, where it's like, if you want the actual like better version of it, like go read it. It's like,
literally that happens all the time. I feel like that's like 90% of the time. It's like, oh, I'm really invested in this show. What? It only has 2 seasons, and then like you have to read the rest, or like the manga never even finished either.
I mean, the manga is cool though, because like it's collectible, and like, you know me, Kiro, like I like physical collectible. I like video game steelbooks and shit like that. So like, it is cool to collect manga, but it's like, you know, I have to go to my way to buy it now.
I feel like I have to read The Promised Neverland because
you do.
The season 2 was just such a disappointment, and
it's just not good. It
made me very sad about my life.
Yeah. No,
I've never seen that.
It's really good. You should watch it on Netflix.
Season 1 is amazing, and season 2 should be good, but apparently they skip like 7 of the arcs from the manga and like rush through what could have been 2 seasons worth of anime.
What the hell? Why'd they do that for? What? Why?
Because they just wanted to shoot themselves in the foot, I guess.
No, I think what it is
another thing of like the show not getting big till later?
Yeah, sometimes shows like they may be famous on like the West, but their main audience is always Japan. So like if he doesn't do well in Japan, it just doesn't do well. Like it just stays there. You know, like that's why a lot of animes don't have second seasons.
I wish they didn't have a second season.
Yeah, I wish it didn't have a second season. Well, it could be worse.
I wish that one and Tokyo Ghoul didn't have a second season.
Oh, Tokyo Ghoul was pretty bad too. The first one was pretty good, and then the manga happened.
They both were stellar first seasons, and then like life ruining second seasons.
So many shows have that. I don't get why.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of people talked about like My Hero that way too. It's like first season great. I even think the second one was too bad, but like third season everybody's like, it's terrible. It's weird how that always ends up happening at some point for like most anime. I'm not sure if there's a single anime out there that doesn't have like at least like one dip down in quality at some point.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's also part of the big issue with these shows, with because they're serialized and they make them every week. Like they have a whole week to animate a whole episode, and I think sometimes they just don't have enough time to do it. Like like imagine that how many people, and they get paid shit. I was watching an episode where they were talking about how much an animator gets paid. And they don't even get paid by hour. They get paid by the panel that they animated. So
that's fucked up.
And then they get paid like $5. So like imagine that you spend like 10 hours or 20 hours animating this one scene and you get paid $5 for it. Like that's insane. That's like, who lives off of that? Nobody lives off of that.
Slave labor.
You can't even buy ramen with that.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking bad. So like, a lot of the times that's what happens. Like it's a deep on, but then like I feel like they waste money and resources on anime that shouldn't even exist. Like you're like, I saw this one anime called Demon King Daimo. It's like this shitty ass harem anime. It's like absolute trash. And like, I'm sure somebody out there likes the anime, but not me. And I think it's really bad anime. Like, I'm like, you're wasting resources. You had an entire animation team do something like this, and it's not good. Like, why would you do this? Like to me, I'm like, they should just be more selective, because out of the millions of good shows, not millions, out of the hundreds of good shows, there's millions of pretty shit shows out there too.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, shows that get ruined a season or two later.
Yeah, and I'm like, what would you waste your money and time in that? Put the effort into it, or like pay enough people to do that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the thing. Like I said with like the Attack on Titan stuff, it's like, it's like you have a main show that's doing well, and then you do a side show, and then you wait 2 years to do another season. It's like, that's a good way to ruin hype for a show.
But also, I feel like that was actually probably better than they just making up another ending. Like I would rather take that than them just like kind of like making up something. Plus, the better seasons of Attack on Titan are like later seasons. But like, frankly, season 2 is just boring as hell. It's literally like 6 episodes of Eren.
I liked it.
Eren, is that season 1 or season 2? Where there's like this rock and they have to move it from point A to point B.
Oh, that's season 1.
Season 1, yeah. That's like, there's 6 episodes of Eren in Titan mode, literally moving this rock, and I'm like,
Yeah, the first time I watched that, I thought that was like sick. I don't know, I thought that was badass.
You thought it was badass?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I guess going back and watching it, I probably would think that too.
I was like, but here's the deal though. I had already read the manga at that point. So like, whenever I watched the anime, I was just like, dude, this section is literally like a couple of chapters. Like, it's not 6 episodes. So like, I don't know. I thought it was too long. Like it's really weird, the pacing. Because the pacing in the anime is different from the manga, obviously, because you have chapters, you don't have episodes. So the pacing is very different sometimes. Sometimes people were like, why isn't this animated the way that the manga portrayed it? I'm like, because it's a different medium. You have to change things. It can't just be the same. Something has to change.
Season 1 was 25 episodes, and then season 2 was only 12 episodes, and I feel like the same amount of stuff happened. I actually feel like more stuff happened in season 2 than happened in season 1.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think so too.
Season 1 is building... season 1's also building a lot of the links with the characters, I feel like, too, though.
Right, it did. That is one of the biggest strong points for AOT, is that they did build so perfectly. Like, when you go back and rewatch it that first time, you'll see things in, like, episode 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 that are, like, big things in season 2 and season 3 and even in season 4.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. I just love how there's like so much build up to certain things. Like, they start some plot points, you're like, oh, that's maybe not important, or even like you see that the way certain characters react to certain things. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. You know, they reacted a certain way, but whatever. And then like you watch them from the beginning, I'm like, oh, that's why they reacted like that. You know, that's why they're doing this.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, and I love that. I think that's really good storytelling. That's really good stuff. You can say whatever you want, because I know there's some people out there who don't like Attack on Titan, but at least you can acknowledge the fact that they do pretty good storytelling.
Yeah, I think he definitely, when he was writing that show and everything, or the manga, I guess,
Yeah.
he definitely knew what he wanted at the end already.
Yeah,
Which is,
I think
which is
that
good.
I think he definitely worked in backwards. There's a few things like the words that they use to refer to things that makes me believe that he didn't have everything written down at the
Yeah.
beginning, but he definitely had the meat and potatoes.
Which I feel like it's such a good way to write,
He
because it makes
definitely
what
had
happens at the
the-
beginning matter.
He definitely had a potato girl.
Yeah, he definitely had Sasha.
I don't, honestly, I never remember their names, but I remember them for like whatever they say or for like the. I'm bad with names. I only never pay attention to their names.
There's a lot of
They
characters in the show.
literally call her Potato Girl.
Yeah, so like I always
So-
call it potato girl.
I wouldn't fault you for that one.
But like to me, like it would be funny because I'll do like I'll watch a show, right, and then like 3/4 into a show they refer to a character name, and I'm like, who's this person? I have to look it up.
I do that too.
Like yesterday, like sometimes, like you were telling me about a character, and I was like, "Who the fuck is that person?" Like I know I watched the show, but like, who is this person? And I Google it, I'm like, "Oh, that guy, yeah." I'm bad with
Especially if it's
names.
like Japanese names. Like we
Yeah.
cover like Persona stuff, right?
Yeah.
I played through SMT3 and they said character names. I was like, I have no fucking clue who that is. Like I don't like half of the Japanese names, if they're like similar to each other. I got Yusuke and Yosuke mixed up so many times. I said it wrong so many times.
Oh, dude,
That just makes it like a level harder.
yeah, I see that sometimes when people get messed up with, especially with names that sound really similar. I mean, it happens, man. It is what it is. It's part of the weeb life here.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I feel like we're good to go as far as like an introduction here. We talk about what we liked and what shows we've been watching so far, and what shows we're gonna be covering in the future. So if you are interested into listening more about the podcast, please check it out. Subscribe or like follow us on Spotify, Applecast, or there's so many of them podcasts out there. But yeah, we're everywhere. So check out the channel. Check out the links for the podcast and everything. So we'll be doing content pretty often here. And I want to thank everybody for checking out the first episode, and of course Falcon and Rising for being my co-host here in this anime podcast. So I really do appreciate it. Any final words from you guys?
It's been fun.
Keep watching anime. Keep weebing out, you know? Keep weebing out.
Alrighty. Well, see you guys. Thanks so much for watching.
Bye.
See you, man.